welcome to Play PKN, the weekly video bulletin of the top news stories on PKN Packaging News, Australia's media hub for the packaging industry. I'm the publisher, Lindy Hewson, and this week's bulletin is brought to you by KM Packaging, specialists in high-performance lidding films. Well, making headlines this week, supermarket giant Woolworths has just published a list of problematic and preferred packaging materials for its suppliers to refer to, based on a traffic light system of red, amber and green. Now, the list was developed in consultation with the Australian Packaging Covenant Organisation and categorises packaging materials based on how easily recyclable they are. Woolworths says it will work with all suppliers to phase out the hardest to recycle materials from its packaging by 2025. APCO has developed a number of public resources to support businesses in the transition to a circular economy for packaging, and says that members like Woolworths that share this information with their wider networks can amplify and accelerate this transition. In other news, marking NIDOC Week this week, Australia Post has added a new line in its address section on parcels, providing space for the First Nations traditional place name to be included in the address. The new packaging, which also includes an acknowledgement of country, is being phased in as stock allows. It also includes a space in the sender section to include a traditional name. Next up, just a week after it instigated the purchase of the ANZ Hexagon Labels business for $381 million, the world's biggest label printer, Multicolour Corporation, has itself been sold by its private equity owners and will be rolled into a giant new labels and packaging operation. The new entity is being created by private equity fund CD&R, which is buying the US labels and packaging printer Fort Dearborn at the same time as MCC, creating a global labels and packaging operation on a scale to rival CCL Industries. Together, the merged businesses will generate an initial $3 billion annual revenue. The acquisitions and merger are subject to customary closing conditions and are expected to be completed by the end of this year. Now, speaking of investment, the Clean Energy Finance Corporation, CEFC, has made its first investment under the Australian Recycling Investment Fund, committing up to $16.5 million in debt finance on behalf of the Australian government to a PET recycling facility in regional New South Wales. Now, we've spoken about this plant before when the development was announced back in February. It's called Circular Plastics Australia. It will be the country's largest PET plastic recycling plant and only the second facility of its kind in Australia to process PET end-to-end into food-grade recycled PET. It's a joint venture between Cleanaway Pact Group and Asahi Beverages. Construction is well underway, with the plant to be part powered by renewable energy through the installation of solar panels, hence CEFC's investment. It will recycle the equivalent of an estimated 1 billion PET bottles a year, as well as create long-term employment opportunities in Albury-Wodonga. The recycled PET will be used to produce more than 20,000 tonnes of new beverage bottles and food packaging a year. Can't get tired of those numbers. Now, TetraPak has just been recognized as one of the world's top 50 sustainability and climate leaders. The company was acknowledged for its commitment to pioneering a sustainable future, with a documentary showcasing its journey to date. The video features interviews with members of TetraPak's global leadership team, highlighting how the role of the food sector in tackling climate change is becoming even more imperative. The company explains why accelerating decarbonisation and collaboration is critical to lead the sustainability transformation of the food packaging industry, and addresses complex and multifaceted challenges such as global warming, circularity and biodiversity. Then, in a nod to Plastic-Free July, Detpak and Hallmark are teaming up to give coffee cups new life as gift wrap. The gift wrap range uses fibres from Detpak's Recycle Me cups and is printed in Australia. Detpak has partnered with Opal Australia Paper to provide a local recycling solution for the cups. Detpak says all of its Recycle Me customers are given the option to set up dedicated collection for these cups so that they can be collected and recycled in Australia. The company is continuing to work with customers on setting up additional collection locations to improve access for consumers looking to return their Recycle Me cup. And last, but certainly not least, it is back. Our popular Women in Packaging Breakfast Forum will take place as a virtual event on 18th of August as part of the AIP's 2021 Packaging Conference. Now do save the date as we prepare for in-depth and valuable dialogue on diversity in the workplace and the benefits it brings. For more detail on these and other stories, you know where to go. packagingnews.com.au. That's it from me, Lindy Houston, signing off.